there, I'm Cynthia and welcome to the Dinner Fix, where I help answer the question, what's for dinner? Today I'm going to be making a Mediterranean inspired chicken and chickpea. I call it chicken and chickpea skillet, but you know, it's kind of one pan dish, comes together pretty quickly, and leverages a lot of ingredients that you likely already have in your pantry with an assist from a couple of other ingredients like parsley and lemon juice to help add some freshness to the dish. So let me show you how to make it. First thing you're gonna need, we're gonna start off by marinating our chicken. I have here a couple of different pantry staples: salt, pepper, some cumin, some paprika, to which I'm going to add some garlic. Now this is garlic that I have grated on a microplane. If you have a garlic press, you can press it in a garlic press. If you have neither of those tools, you could use the really small teeth on a box grater, just so you can get that grated really fine. Or you can just mince it, you know, as fine as you can get it, and it's going to be perfectly fine. This is going to be a marinade, but then we are going to cook the chicken in it. But more on that in a sec. To this, I'm also going to add some lemon zest, and then some lemon juice. All right, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mix this all up. And to this, I'm going to add our chicken. And I have here some chicken thighs. The recipe as I wrote it does call for chicken breast. I just don't have any chicken breast on hand at present. I have some thighs, so I'm gonna use that. And we're just going to give this a good mix. And this is something that you want to do at least 15 minutes before you're ready to start cooking, but up to an hour before. Anytime you're marinating chicken and citrus, or really any protein and citrus, you want to be wary of letting it marinate too long, because the acid in the citrus will, particularly lemon or lime or anything that's highly acidic, is going to start to chemically cook the chicken, and that's not what we want. It's kind of the same concept behind, you know, how you can eat like ceviche in Mexican cooking. You cook it in lemon juice and lime juice, and then you can pretty much eat it raw, though it's been, again, chemically cooked. But at any rate, we don't want to do that to our chicken. So I'm just going to set this aside. And once I am ready to start cooking, I'll show you how to put the rest of the assembly together. All right, let's get cooking. I have here some chopped onion that I'm going to add to a pretty large skillet that's been heating over medium heat and has a tablespoon of olive oil. Actually, I should probably move that. That's probably dangerous. So let's just pile that all in. And we're going to cook this down until it's translucent and the onions have softened. That's gonna take anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. Let's get all that onion in there. Okay, so as you can see, our onions are nice and translucent. They've softened up. It's been about 6 minutes, so it is time to add our chicken. So what you want to do is, using a slotted spoon, we're just going to take the chicken and, leaving behind as much marinade as you can, you're just going to add the chicken to the skillet with the onions. And we're going to cook this down until the chicken is opaque on the outside, which is going to take about 4 minutes. Don't throw the marinade away, because we are going to be incorporating it into the dish at a later point. So I'm actually going to up my heat to medium high. And again, just going to cook this until it's opaque on the outside. It's going to take about 4 minutes. I'm going to let this sit here for a minute or two and then give it a stir. So don't need to stir it constantly, but definitely keep your eye on it. All right, so It's been about 4 minutes. As you can see, the chicken is opaque now, meaning from the outside it looks cooked, but you know, this is not cooked through. This is going to need far more than 4 minutes to finish cooking. It's starting to stew in this yumminess. I'm getting the cumin and the garlic. Smells really, really good. So to this, I'm going to add a can of tomatoes, which I think most of us have in our pantry. I'm going to add a can, and I added that with the chickpea, with the juices. I have a can of chickpeas here in my hand that I have drained. So we're adding that as well. And then I'm going to add some kosher salt. We're going to give this a stir, and then we're just going to continue cooking this until that chicken is cooked through. That should take like another 8 or so minutes. But if you're making this with another cut of chicken, like chicken thighs, it might take a little longer to cook through. So just make sure to check for doneness before you start diving in. Now, in the recipe that I've written, I do recommend serving this alongside couscous. Now would be a great time to get that process going. Couscous only takes about 5 or so minutes to make, so you start making it now, it's going to be done at about the same time as this chicken is done. I actually have some couscous left over from a meal I had earlier this week, so I'm going to be using that. But again, now it's a good time to make it. If you want to serve this with rice or some other carb, again, now is probably a good time to just get that going while you wait for this to cook. So I'm just going to leave that alone. Oh, wait. I forgot about our marinade. We want to add our marinade to this as well. Glad I had that right in plain sight. Otherwise, I completely would have forgotten about it. So we're just going to let this cook again until cooked through. I'm going to set a timer, drop the heat to medium, and then we're going to give this a taste. It's been about 8 minutes since I started cooking the chicken with the tomatoes and the chickpeas, and as you can see, this is thickened up nicely. The flavors have all started to meld together. I'm getting like these yummy whiffs of just the cumin and the garlic, and it smells absolutely delicious. Now I did take this off the heat, or rather I turned the heat off. I'm going to add one more ingredient to this. I have here just some flat leaf parsley that I've just chopped up rather coarsely, and we're just going to stir that in. Again, off of the heat. And that's just going to add just some brightness of flavor. It's also going to add just a pop of color to our dish. And there you have it, chicken and chickpea skillet. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. I just have back here some couscous that I warmed. And I made something earlier this week with couscous. And like 1 box of couscous it makes quite a bit when you're cooking for 2. Not to say that this is going to feed 2. This is going to feed us for a couple of days. It's quite a bit, but just place the couscous on the bottom, and then I'm just going to take our chicken and our chickpeas and our tomatoes and just put that on top. Look at how pretty that looks. All right. Let us taste. And this is still really hot, so I'm going to try to be really careful here, lest I burn my mouth. Let me try and get a bite here with a little bit of chicken, the chickpea, tomato, some couscous. Oh, so hot. It's really good, but it's really hot. So when you're making this at home, maybe let it cool off for a few minutes. But really flavorful. I'm definitely getting the lemon in there. The chicken is nice and juicy and moist. Really tasty dish, really simple to put together. Leverage those pantry essentials, the chickpeas, the tomatoes, the spices. I think we all have chicken in our freezers these days, at least those of us that eat meat. Not out of the question to be able to pull this together on any weeknight. Hope you try this one at home. Until next time, enjoy.